Thanks very much, Neil. The Utes are out on track. It's all fueled by Hog's Breath Cafe. Jason Barguana is the man alongside me. He's had a busy night trying to sort through all the penalties for V8s. I don't think he's been to bed yet. And Chris Walton and Reece McNally were lined up alongside each other on the front row. Jace, do you want a coffee?
A coffee would be great, thank you very much. I'm just going to get the popcorn, actually, because I've been watching a bit of the Utes this weekend. This is going to be entertaining.
There's also been 7 drivers penalised in this field as we go through the list. Look at all the big names towards the back, including Tim Blanchard, George Miedeke, Jared McLeod, Jeremy Gray. They've all been penalised. Grant Johnson, a former series champ, at the back of this grid. So it's going to be very exciting. But Chris Walton, once again, has been the talk of the paddock. He's so fast. He's won 3 races in the championship. He's now leading the championship points. And, well, with 11 laps on the board, just about anything could happen for the final race of the weekend.
Well, talk about anything over the course of the weekend. There has been a lot of penalties handed out. I've just noticed Rod Wilson up in the control tower as I headed towards the commentary box. He, like I, look like we've aged 25 years overnight, so he's had a big one. Royal Harris is probably the biggest one that got in that penalty list, 25 seconds there, so that's really hurt his result this weekend.
Yeah.
But Nathan Pretty winning the reverse grid race yesterday. Chris Walton, he has just shown a clean set of heels the last few rounds, hasn't he?
He has been so fast lately. David Cedars is second in the championship. He'll start off the outside of row number 3. And keep your eyes on the Stratco Ute on the front row. Reece McNally has been so fast this weekend, and that's how it looks in the points. The top 5 in the championship coming into this event hadn't actually scored a race win or a podium at this track before, so we're always going to be getting into some new ground. McNally's 6th in the championship, and he lines up alongside the championship leader at the head of the field. The calm before the storm. It's time to release.
Here we go.
The traybacks around Townsville. Green flag at the back. It's Chris Walton alongside Reece McNally. And keep an eye out for the fast guys at the back of the grid in this one. Red light is on. And it looks like the initial jump will go the way of Walton.
But no, it's McNally actually. So just as the car's got away, you can see McNally's car on that second bite got away, and he's actually going to lead Walton down into turn 1. He's going to try and cover it, and Walton's taking it a bit easy there, so he's going to try and find a way through in the next couple of laps.
A Storman start for the man they call Storman, and it looks like Cedars has gone back a few, and already the driver is on in the middle. Big contact with Dontas. Royal Harris is involved, and it's an absolute car park down at turn 2. This is what we're worried about. Tight street circuits as everybody tries to get away. It'd be a miracle if we get away with no safety car, and here is race control, and the headaches begin.
Blue right now.
Goodness gracious, but at the front, it's McNally, so always entertaining in the Utes. As I said, the popcorn's now half empty, but McNally, he's opened a little gap there over Walton, which is something you don't normally see, but must say, McNally's car's been fast all weekend. He's been coming through the field, he's been passing cars. Maybe it's worked out for him.
Tim the Tool Man. That's Blanchard, used to race for Dick Johnson Racing last year, and he's been the victim of a couple of tools driving this weekend. And Harris,
well, Harris,
big damage to the man who's trying to get a 3rd championship, and it's just going from bad to worse this season. Jeremy Gray, a former race winner in race 2 a few years ago, and his car's badly torn up. I'm just waiting for the call on a safety car, but we're still green at the moment with McNally, Walton, Hansford, your top 3. Dontas, his championship charge is going to take a serious hit as he inspects the damage to the left front, and the South Aussie is out of this one. And wow, that was a spectacular first lap. Still no safety car boards being shown as we complete the first lap with McNally, the race leader. Hansford doing a good job to be there in 3rd. There should be some yellow flags somewhere down here, so keep an eye for anybody who's going to try and make a move. Can't see any as of yet. So
yeah, so the teams over the radios would have told the guys there's cars everywhere down there, so take it easy at turn 1. A good start. You can see there that Chris Walton got the initial jump, but as McNally started to get away, he got a really good drive on the second bite, and away he went.
Marjoram and Spud Wood were 3 wide with someone else at the approach to turn 1. We managed to get through here okay. It was just down here under brakes, and let's see if we can pick where this all started.
Oh, good luck with that.
Well, that tells us a lot. Oh, no, on board with Dontas, and he's facing the wrong way. He's already had 1 or 2 big hits. All right, Jace, you're the expert at this. Where did this start?
Well, no way. Oh, there's no way I'm predicting this one. Look, it's a case of 3 or 4 into one little hole. It doesn't work. And all it takes is that little bit of contact, and then we look like the Demolition Derby on a Saturday night at Parramatta Speedway.
That is complete chaos. Wakefield got together with Graham Edwards, one of the local guys, and that's the closest I could pick, surely, after Darwin.
Not Wakefield, please.
That is just chaos. Complete ute muster down at turn 2, and somehow we're still racing under green flag conditions. Everybody did a great job to get out of there. Jeremy Gray's come through the pits to try and fix the damage up. He'll go down the lap because here come the leaders. What a start to this one. Poor Jeremy Gray's
just popped himself out in the leaders, and the other problem is we've got yellow flags here, so Chris Walton should not be able to overtake.
Oh dear.
Be interested to, well, yeah, okay, yeah, Gray's getting out of the way, so it's an area where really you can't overtake cars down there, so he's got out of the way, so which is a good idea.
Still car stuck out there. Tim Blanchard stuck in the exact same spot. He was stuck in the reverse grid race. He's had an absolute shocker.
So Royal Harris's team, they're going to try and have a look at if they can fix that car and get that back out to try and get some points, but the way that front wheel looked, I couldn't imagine it. But this is a good little battle here, Elliot Barber and Nathan winning that reverse grid race. There was some great racing yesterday with Barber, Marjoram in the Auto 1 vehicle, and it was good to see. Very spectacular stuff.
So McNally trying to win his first race since the reverse grid race at Sandown, and Phil Woodbury's going to have a look. And Ben Wilson did a good job to protect the line down there. Jesse Dixon's involved after a DNF yesterday. Gerald McLeod, who's had such a tough weekend. And good to see his famous father, Peter McLeod, the 87 Bathurst winner here this weekend. And that is the damage to the all-purpose pest control car number 1. Terminal, you'd call that?
Oh, I don't think they're fixing that one. I think, yeah, it's pretty spectacular to get that car back to the pit lane, but the chances of getting it back out in the racetrack are quite low.
Royal Harris will have his Agenda clothing line available online soon.
Yep, she's all over.
And he is just a frustrated man. You can check all that stuff out online. His fiancée Casey will be doing all the online sales for that one. He's business partners with Chris Walton's missus, which is a bit unusual. Heaven forbid they ever come together on the racetrack. Riding on board with Andrew Fisher.
Andrew Fisher, he's now following Wayne Wakefield, that little battle. So right at the start of that group, you've got Wilson and Woodbury fighting it out, which has slowed them all up. Oh, have we got the yellow flags out still? I think they've been pulled in by now. No, they're still out. So that's taken away that passing opportunity. You can see him there.
There's one in the background, though. One little yellow. It looks like almost the exit.
So that's the start of the yellow zone. So they can't pass between there and the green flag. But this little group now has gathered up. It's all pretty close. Andrew Fisher's got to try and find a way through, but it's Woodbury trying to put pressure on Wilson. But at the front, it's McNally is pulling a little gap. Every lap, every sector there, he's pulling a half a tenth away from Chris Walton, which is a fantastic effort and is really quite fast.
You're doing well if you can pull away from the championship leader.
Here's Woodbury up the inside, so he's got an over-under. He's got the overlap now through turn 9, through turn 10, side by side. This is exciting stuff.
Oh, he's on the dirty part of the racetrack here, Ben Wilson. I thought he might be going out to the concrete. They gave each other a lot of room. And Woodbury, who actually drove up to Townsville with his best mate for the weekend's race, all the way from a long way down south, makes that move stick. And Ben Wilson will be dropped back a spot. Now Jesse Dixon and McLeod will be the next two that will have a piece of this battle. It's good racing so far. We're only a few laps in as they all sort their way through turn 13. Riding on board with the Just Car Insurance driver of Elliot Barber. He's up towards the front of this field. Reece McNally is currently leading from Chris Walton. It's the V8 Utes, fueled by Hog's Breath Cafe, up here at the Castrol Townsville 500, driven by TAFE Queensland.
So you wanna be a champion?
Welcome back to Townsville, where the battle for the lead is heating up in the V8 Utes. Chris Walton and Reece McNally. Walton, he's going to be the outside at turn 13. Not the ideal position. Can he get it done around the outside?
Well, here we go, because the last lap he tried to go the over-under and it didn't work for him. This time he's going to go around the outside.
That is a fantastic move for the lead. And Chris Killer Walton takes the lead in race 3. Got it done around the outside. Now Yokohama replay at some of the other shenanigans that have been going on.
Oh, Fisher locked up the rear brakes there. Bit of a slide.
Good job to avoid contact. Although big lock-up and more action going on further around the track. This is Matty Nolan, who had a 10-spot grid penalty for early contact with a big slide. And this is further back in turn 6, which has been the site of a lot of action this weekend. Wayne Wakefield, Ben Wilson, Jesse Dixon.
This is a great little battle for 10th place. They're pushing quite hard. Dixon's gone one way. He's come out in front of that one as well. So here's the battle for the lead. And have a look at Hansford. He's actually now caught up to the two of these guys. While they've been fighting for it, Hansford's just been doing clean laps, and he's actually the fastest car on the circuit at the moment. So this is going to turn into a three-way battle for these last few laps.
He's been looking after his tyres and the multi-spares forward, and he's managed to close that gap. Kim Jane in 4th after stalling on the grid at the beginning of race 1, doing a good job to make something out of this weekend. There's that distance now. So that time through, it was 3/10 quicker than the leader. Ryan Hansford, this battle's going on. And Wayne Wakefield, after a busy event in Darwin, has got Jesse Dixon ahead of him, the former Shannon's V8 Supercar Showdown winner. He's also raced, both these guys have raced V8 Supercars at Bathurst before. Through turn one.
It's obviously Wayne Wakefield's car there. He didn't have a very good Darwin. Didn't win himself many friends, and he's got a bit of damage on this one, but I think that's come from that first corner incident. So he's trying to be out there, survive. Andrew Fisher now this time. Down the outside, tries to do the over-under, which is a common passing manoeuvre here at Townsville Raceway. It's a great little circuit, busy racetrack, up the gears, down the gears, on the brakes, left, right. It's a fantastic driver circuit.
Ben Wilson is wild and out of control in front of him, but he's going to find some room to the outside. That's not where you want to be doing it. Can he find a bit of curb and get the drive out of 6?
Now Fisher's going to come back at him again. Wilson's been under pressure for the last few laps. He's been left and right, the rear sliding, and cars have been going left, right and centre. So, he's doing a good job to hang on, but Fisher's probably the faster car here. Will he get an under-over? Try and get an overlap and get down the inside of the braking zone.
Fisher's going to do a couple of appearances at the local detention centre. He's going to go to Cairns to speak in a prison. All part of the Life Choices campaign that he works on.
There he goes. He's going to have a look down the inside. He's halfway up the inside there. Gives him room, and that's a good clean pass move done. Bit of rub, that's fine. Job done.
Standard practice in the Utes. Penultimate lap for your race leader right now, Chris Walton. Is this one over with just yet? He thought about the move there, Ben Wilson. Fisher will hold on to that spot out of turn 13. Here is that battle for the lead. Chris Walton, he hasn't driven away from the field just yet. Reece McNally's holding on at the moment. And if they do stay like this, Walton will take the round victory with McNally and Hansford equal on points right now. So can McNally hold on to that second place? It's also for second place in the round.
They're trading fastest laps, and there's not much in it. Through that sector of the circuit, they're only 3 thousandths of a second apart. So in terms of lap time, they're very close. It's about track position. It's about not making a mistake now for Chris Walton. He's done a great job this year, winning a lot of races, and he really is standing out as being our championship guy. But
this is
this earlier battle before.
Just watch how close Wilson gets to those tyres. We saw it from onboard Fisher's angle earlier. Certainly wild, and then over the curbs at turns 7 and 8. And man, that is just awesome stuff. What we love to see. Actually, that's turns 5 and 6. They're getting a little bit crazy through.
They're not overdriving those at all, are they?
Not at all.
No, not at all.
Old tyres, no weight on the rear end. These things understeer like all hell as well, and you've got virtually an R-spec tyre, so it's not a slick. Last lap now for your race leader. 2.8 Ks to go.
When they go home and watch the replays of this one, they might actually pay attention to the guys at the front who are driving them nice and clean, hitting the apexes, getting their braking markers and doing the job. The guys down the back flying, sliding, banging, crashing. It's not working for him. But for Chris Walton, that's what we've seen from him all year this year. And you can see early, like his tyre pressures may have been a bit low. McNally's are up a bit high to get that early gap. But as the race has gone on, it's come back to him. You can hear the tyres squealing there. That's close. That is right on the edge. And but he's getting away with it and doing the fast lap times.
This race will mark the halfway point of the V8 Ute season. And so far, Ford hold that ledger. 8-3. It's about to become 9-3. Geez, tyres squealing through 6s. Hansford flicks up some dust. Kim Jane eats it as they go on down towards 7 and 8.
It's quite daunting when you come through turn 7 and there's a wall of dust in front of you. You can't see anything. It's blind. It's a bit like the days of thunder. I'll go hold it flat and get through it. And then you find out that there's a gap there, so it works out quite well for you. Chris Walton, he's been doing a great job in his go-kart this year as well. And combining that with the ute racing, all that smooth technique, all those lessons he's learned are paying the dividend here.
He's about to race at another Castrol-sponsored event, the Castrol Edge CIK Stars of Karting, where he's actually leading that series as well. He loves to race. He loves to win. He's winning the New Zealand Utes as well, and he's winning the Australian Utes. Fueled by Hog's Breath Cafe, he takes his 4th win for the season. Halfway home in the championship, and Chris Walton comfortable all weekend. Reece McNally's been strong. He comes home for a strong podium finish for the weekend as well. And Ryan Hansford with some good mid-season form up on the podium as well. And wow, David Cedars home in 7th. It just wasn't his weekend after he qualified so strongly. He will hemorrhage some points to Chris Walton in the championship. That's how they line up. At the end of the day, Walton will take 2 race wins and the overall victory from up here in Townsville, his first race win and podium, and also round win on the streets of Townsville.